Is your computer ever running slower than normal and you seem to get slower data transfers and you have no idea why? If so, here are 4 crucial tips to speed up your computer, both at boot and in the long run. So no delays, let's get right into it. So first, it's clearing up file space. If your hard drive has less than 10% of its space left, then you should probably clear up some storage. A program I recommend for this is WinterStat or Wistry, both of which let you see which files and directories take up the most space. But if you are looking for general big files, look out for Steam games, movie files, which may have a .mov, .mp4, or .avi extension, and virtual machines. All these files can make up hundreds and hundreds of gigabytes on your hard drive, and if you don't want to delete them, then you can move them to another storage device such as an external hard drive or flash drive. The second tip, and one of the most important, is checking for and deleting viruses. Viruses are malicious pieces of software that can do anything from display annoying pop-ups to deleting your entire system's BIOS memory. But a lot of viruses go in the middle category, which are viruses that strain your computer by taking the majority of its processing power. This power could be contributing to a lot of big projects for good or to a single person. The most common types of these types of viruses may be cryptominers that run lots of hash algorithms on your computer, CPU, or GPU to slow it down, while earning the criminal lots of money in the process. Now, our third tip, which is to update your computer. If you are using Windows and you are currently on Windows 10, then you should upgrade to Windows 11 for more performance. Not to mention, Microsoft has announced the shutdown of Windows 10 updates in October of 2025. So you should switch before then if you want to stay up to date with security updates. But if you're already on Windows 11, you should update regularly to the newest version of Windows 11, or turn on the setting in Windows to automatically update when you're not using your computer. I personally have that setting turned on, and it is very useful. I really like it. So before we get to our final tip, I want to add a bonus tip from a previous one. Now, when I said that Windows 11 was better than Windows 10, you may have said, but Jackson, Windows 11 has way more bloatware than Windows 10. And you would be correct. Microsoft has put tons of bloatware into Windows 11 that expands the ISO size. But there's a specific version of Windows made by the community known as TinyEleven. This removes all the bloatware that is packaged with Windows, such as Microsoft Edge, the Photos app, Sound Recorder, etc., mainly leaving only settings, the Microsoft Store, and File Explorer behind. But with the Microsoft Store, you can get more software so you can customize how you like. In total, the size of a normal Windows 11 disk image is 6.4 gigabytes, but the size of a TinyEleven disk image is 3.5 gigabytes for the latest version. So TinyEleven is approximately 45% smaller than an image for Windows 11. So if you have a computer that is too weak for Windows 11, then you can use TinyEleven due to its lessened system requirements and strain on the computer once it is installed. Our final tip is removing startup apps. If you're like me and have a bunch of software installed, you may have a lot of unessential software installed that runs on startup, slowing down your computer at boot and slowing down your computer in general if you do forget to close these startup apps once you have them. You can turn these startup apps off by going to Windows settings and then search startup apps. There should be an option for configuring which apps start up at boot. This didn't really help me on my personal computer, but it did help with my laptop because my laptop is pretty slow. It has like 4 gigabytes of RAM, and whenever I try and log in, it takes like 20 seconds to log into my user account. But after I got rid of any unnecessary startup stuff, it took less than 10 seconds, which doubles or halves the time it takes to log in. So if you have a less powerful desktop or you have a laptop, a Windows laptop, then you should have faster loading times and generally a faster computer. And actually before I go to the outro, I'm just gonna say this wasn't in the script. Windows, all these tips are exclusively for Windows, but That doesn't mean you can't find equivalents for Linux or Mac if you're using one of those. So just keep that in mind. This is meant for Windows users and Windows users alone.